Alrighty. Doc here from North America. Good morning, good afternoon, and good evening. It's a 3-day holiday here in the States. But the world is open. Even if it's just slowly grinding, either way, it's still open. And you can see there the dollar index. Let's see what we have trading in the States here. Lots of things are closed here at this point. So, what is that? What did I open up the wrong thing? There we go. Let's close that. Open up the currencies. You can see we have the stock market, the futures contracts. They're trading. Nothing. And currencies, of course, are trading. Let's open that right there. And let's go see if we even have a dollar index that's trading. All right. There. And let's see if we can find that. Yeah, see, that's the... they do have the futures trading on the bonds. This is a 30-year bond. Is that right? Yes, that's a 30-year bond. And it's piercing down at the moment. Very illiquid. Again, markets are closed here, so there's not many participants. Let's go find the dollar index. We have it up on J4X there. You can see it's reflecting a minus area. It's kind of quiet. It's not really ticking away much. And let's get it up on here, right there. There it is. June. No, I guess it can't be June because there is no more June. So let's put the new contract in there. Didn't even realize that. I thought I changed that on Saturday or something like that, or Sunday. Let's see. There we are. It's September now. Let's see what they're going to do for us there. There we go. You see September is... There's a trade in it. Let's put it that way. They have, yes, they have a trade in it. Let's put it that way. Excuse me, a little sneezy. There we go. Alrighty. So, okay, there it is. You can see it's it got into the, that's Friday. So that's good. It's in the weekly sell just like the other contract was. Friday's product did find a way to get into the sell. Let's close that. Let's see, cancel that. Close that. Okay, now they're showing. Okay, now what did it? Yes, that's today, and that's not today yet. Let's change the parameter, like where it's drawing it from. Setting. Let's give it 7 days a week. There we are. That still didn't do it. But this did. So let's just double check what they have going on here for the daily. CME. All right. So the drawing from it's doing it. So CME. CME. Let's see. Right there. Let's try that. It's still not reflecting it. That's kind of curious. Let me just double check what this is. Let me double check. And that is the Globex. Okay, let's try that. Cancel. Oh, cancel. And let's see if we can get the Globex in there. It's quiet. Starting off very quiet this morning. There we go. Let's see if that does it. Still not doing it. That's odd. And that's reflecting the 16th. Maybe if I give it a reload, that might help it out a little bit. Nothing yet. But either way, it closed on Friday in the sell. And can you see that? It seems like you can't see that. Let's move this over a little bit. Let's go to that mouse right there. Mouse in the house. Not really. It's very tight. Let's see if we can do this. Move it over like that. Here it comes. You should be able to see it a little bit better now. There we go. So you can see it's in the weekly sell from last week, and that is last week. And it's not, whereas the daily right now is reflecting, today. Or at least it was a few seconds ago. Let's double check that again. Now that's reflecting the 16th. Alrighty. Yes, so anyway, dollar looks a little bit firmer here in the States. That's all I can say about that. Let me just go like this and see if that'll do it. Close. No, it's not doing that at all. Alright, we're getting all kinds of odd feeds on that. There we go. There it goes. It just did it. So you can see there, the dollar is a little bit firmer today. But again, there's nobody really trading the markets on the state side at this moment. It's a 3-day weekend. We are celebrating our American Passover, the freedom of freeing up from being slaves. You know, it's like an Egyptian thing, I guess you could say. And that's where we are at the moment. Except for we didn't have any blood on the door, and the lamb didn't get et. Instead, it's just the Emancipation Proclamation. Freedom of slavery. One of the first countries in the world to stop slavery in the world. Pretty impressive. Go America. Go, go, go. It's always been a battle back and forth. England and the United States went back and forth in different times, you know, back in those old days a couple centuries ago, figuring that out. And the rest of the world today, it's still, there's slavery in many places, unfortunately. So, just is what it is. But America is one of the first countries in the world, or the first country in the world that stopped slavery. So that's a bravo thing going on there. All right, now let's jump over to the currencies themselves. Where is it at? Right. Yes, I did open it up. Right there. No, that's the wrong one too. Boy, we're opening up the wrong things everywhere. Everywhere. Close. Save yes. Benga binga bongo. And let's reopen up the currencies again. There it is. It was right next to it. As you can see here on the stock market, you know, it's down a bit. You know, what is that? Down like 6 points on the S&P 500. The Nasdaq's probably unchanged, and the Dow's probably down about 15 or 20. Let's see if we can spot what exactly the numbers are. The Dow is down 40 points. The Nasdaq is down 15 points, and the S&P 500 is down 5 points. So, you know, there's just that teeny weeny little pressure there going on. And then from there, what do we got? We got, as you can see here, that's GBP. And GBP's been looking very firm, just off a little bit or unchanged for the day, basically. It's showing its strength. It's been in that buy since right here. Let's take a look at the euro first, though. Usually we go to the euro, the second largest economy in the world, and that is the European Union. And you can see right there, you know, it closed in a weekly buy last week. Let's fix that, like so. Right there, and right there. And we can get rid of that little circly thing. Remove. So it closed in a weekly buy last week. It's been in that daily buy since the high 107s. It's slowly grinded itself in the upside, you know, pushing slow and steadily. A little weak this morning, nothing major. It's unched. And again, the United States is closed, which means more than likely, you know, you're talking about 60 to 70% of trading is closed. So the world only represents about 25-35% of trading. So would you know, I've mentioned this before on the webinars, but the Apple computer, you know, the one that makes the telephones and the so forth, and the tablets and the computers, Apple computer, or they just call it Apple at this point. Has the value of all of the stocks at the London Exchange. So in other words, just Apple Computer, when you compare it to all the companies that they have on the London Stock Exchange, it's basically equal. So just that one stock can compete with the whole exchange. Now, what's even more insane is that you look at the number one industrial nation over there on the continent, you know, you look at Germany and so forth, and that at the Frankfurt Exchange, the main exchange in Germany, it is twice. Isn't that crazy? So Apple Computer is twice as big as all the stocks on the Frankfurt Exchange. So that's why, you know, we're not very fast to push out charts or do anything on a day where the holiday in the States, the country is off. We're off for a holiday today because we were one of the first nations in the world to get rid of slavery, and so we have a holiday for that now. So America it's a battle back and forth about who passed what and when, where they passed it. So parts of America were the first in the world to get rid of slavery, and then England finally caught up, and then we had our little civil disobedience battle with some of the southern states, and then they got rid of it. And that's the Emancipation Act. So that's why Americans are enjoying another summer day off. Let's see, we had May. That was the Memorial Day. And now we have June, and then we have one in July in 3 weeks, celebrating the Declaration of Independence. And then we have nothing in August. We need an August one. We'll have to come up with an August one. We need at least one every month. I think that would be very fair. I'm sure we can find something good America's done. She does a lot of good things in the world. So, what else can we say about any of that? Maybe Joe's birthday. Jojo, the monkey president. He is now telling us that we have to say God save the Queen. You never know it, Joe. He's now been saying God save the Queen. I don't think he realizes that the Queen has passed on, but maybe he's thinking about her in the afterlife at this point. Yes, Joe is telling us now God save the Queen. He's a strange bug. All right, so there is the euro. Let's go back to the cable again and see what the cable looks like. Oh, you know what we didn't do? Let's take a look at the euro up on J4X too. Right there it is. There's the euro. You can see it's been that same moonshot that we have going on right here. Same action. It's doing the same action here. Dismiss that. You can see that the yellow, the slow stochastics is at the 84 area, and the fast is in the 86. It's still trying to climb, showing a lot of strength there. And then over on Chicago Quant, you can see we closed in a daily buy way back there too. Same thing, way in this back area here. You can see us. We've been in the buy since then on a daily. And the fast went into the buy that week also. Then you can see right here, now the slow joined in last week. And so, it's been, you can see that strength we've been seeing. We're not raising, it looks like we're not raising rates for the time being around here. So that's, good reason not to buy the dollar side of the pairs trade. And we're seeing, what the rest of the world is trying to do. They've perked up their rates a little bit. I'd imagine now it makes everything adjusted, and by the central banks, and probably it'll stay firm. And we're looking to see if we can get this. See if the now that it's in a weekly and daily buy, maybe it'll give it a couple days of digestion. In other words, we call that digestion or consolidation, and maybe it'll get a little consolidation going on there. And then what will happen is that the euro will make another move up past the 111 area, something like that. Maybe again go right up to the 111, and then I guess when we look at the markets, global markets, and the pairs trades, in a fundamental way, okay, it's basically trying to tell us that interest rates have kind of peaked. Maybe they do get another point in them, maybe they don't. I don't really think it's going to happen. I think inflation's at 5%, and interest rates are at short-term interest rates are at 5%. And so I kind of think they're going to just stall out. I think Jojo and his group are going to be very happy to just have 4 and 5% inflation for a while, so people can try to forget about how bad he did. And I think that's how it really works out. I don't think they really want to see more interest rate increases. It's really hurting some of the regional banks because they borrow short term and lend long term, and they're upside down by 1.5%. So I think if they just sit here and they sing the song of, well, look, inflation is kind of stalled. We're gonna do more socialism. It'll do better. They always tell us that it's socialism. It's making the interest rates go down. But it was capitalism. It was when in capitalism it's at 1.25, 1.5%, and in socialism it's at 5 to 10%. So obviously, it's not the socialism, it's not the government, it's the bad policies. But you don't have to tell Joe that. He doesn't want to talk about it. Doesn't matter. God save the Queen. All right. From there, we'll go to the cable. Yep, that's the new motto by Joe. God save the Queen. And you can see here, this is the GBP. It's been in a weekly buy for going on a second week. This is going into its it basically went into the buy at the beginning of last week with no problem. And so it's been in a buy for a week and a half now at this point. It's really running firm. You can see the daily there. You can see the fast has been in a buy literally almost like 4 weeks back, or let's put it this way, 3 weeks back. And the slow has been in a weekly buy for almost it's like 1 in 4 days now. So that's pretty powerful. It's been hungry, and we talk about that when the green line gets through the manifold, and that was on Monday it did it. It's like, the odds are 99 point something that it's going to go into a weekly buy. It's that high. And so it's very rare to see that not go into a buy. And so that's what we warned everybody on last Monday about the cable. And sure enough, with it being in the daily buy and that, the weakness was well worth being bought because it went down into the 1.26 area, very lows, almost, what was the low that day? The low that day was 125.10, and here you are now trading at 128.11. So 3 big handles. So yum, and more yum, All right, and then from there, we go over to the Swiss. Let's see what the Swiss is up to today. Oh, let me do this too. Let's go over to J4X and slide in the cable before we run away. Run away, run away, run away. And there it is right there, doing the same thing, showing the strength. Right now, the slow stochastic is trading in the 88 area. And we've got the fast stochastic trading in the 90 area. So it's still holding up, showing that there's more buyers than sellers. And that's pretty much what all our mathematics basically does in the end result. It just shows us that there are more buyers than sellers. And that's kind of cool, It's to have a tool that gives you a general idea when there's more buyers than sellers. And especially when it goes down, that's the real cool thing, is that our signals are telling us buy, 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 and it's going down. It's giving you a chance to buy. That crazy concept: buy low, sell high. In Joe Biden's world, it's buy low, sell high, get high, and in his world, actually, it's buy high, be high, and then buy higher. And that's the Joe mentor or a mantra. That's the mantra. That's what he sings. Sings that song. God save the Queen. All right. Now from there, that's Joe's new motto. God save the Queen. What a strange bug he is. All right. From there we go over to the Swiss. Let's see what the Swiss does. And there's a Swiss. You can see it's been drifting down, doing that. You can see the fast is, where's the fast in that? That's at 15 and change, and the slow is at 20. So the pressure is still on that product, which is pressure in a good way, because when that's going down, it means it's gaining against the dollar. And there it is right there. Same, we're drifting up today a little bit, but we went into that weekly sell last week, and as you can see, the zero line right there on the weekly, the fast got in there much sooner, like on Tuesday, and then it was, the pressure was going, and it still hasn't broken the manifold as you see right there, but at least it closed in the sell. That's all that counts. And this one's moving a little bit slower, and you have to, when you're looking at J4X there. Let's do this. Let's put J4X there. When you look at the, let's move this over a little bit like that. There we are, and we can go like that. You can see the big swing we had when Credit Suisse had its problems, and the Federal Reserve and the Bank of Switzerland, the Central Bank of Switzerland figured it all out, and they straightened it out. So I mean, it ran from, I guess we could say, here, let's do this. We'll make it bigger like that. So you can see here, once those issues started to develop in 2003, The product, I guess, in the middle of the year or towards the end of the year, ran from the 90, what is that, the 94ish, 93 area, all the way up to the 101, and then when they straightened it out by the Federal Reserve doing swaps with the Central Bank of the Central Bank of Switzerland, and everything got straightened out, then you can see it went back down to the natural spots down in here, this low area there, the low area there. It's doing that stuff, doing good stuff, doing good. So we don't expect a lot of move out of this to begin with. We think that range down in here is its natural low end of the range to begin with. Now that's going to be a big question when we go back to look at like euros and cable and so forth. They have been kind of undervalued. Maybe they're going to start to lift up. I mean, I understand Europe is just as bad as we are. GDP wise, they're not growing, and so that puts pressure on currencies, because why would one of they try to buy the currency, but if you're not paying a good interest rate, then who needs to do the swap on those? And and that's part of the process, But we kind of think that's where this is at. We think when we look at the Swiss, we think it's going to hang around in this area here either way. So. All right, and again, we do more than anything else. We follow the math. We see, we see things accurately. The stories that we talk about is only stories in the end. In other words, we trust the math. We don't trust the stories. We know that the fundamentals are, choked and lost in direction, and it's totally a different situation altogether. So. Fundamentals are far and in between. Matter of fact, it's nice when we look at the Swiss and all the other currency pairs. It's nice to see there is some fundamental response from them compared to most of the other stuff that we follow. Now, we've seen the grains and all, like soybeans and so forth, take off. But, when it comes to the actual fundamentals of earnings and inflation and growth and employment, none of that stuff really has that much of an effect on the market. It seems to be more of what the central bank wants is what the central bank gets. That's usually the way it works. All right, from there we dance our way over to Mr. and Mrs. Yen and all the little yens in the Pacific. And there it is right there. There's the yen. And looks like it's popping its head up again towards the highs again of the last couple of weeks. Let's throw it up on Chicano Quant. Where's Mr. Mouse? Right there. And right there. Now when we look at it here, you can see the slow is trading in the 79. And we can see the fast is trading in the 80. Is that 81? 82. It's in the 82. So it's still above its green hinky ashkies. It's showing us that the strength is coming back in. The buyers are here. Here. And then you can see over on Chicago Quant, same situation. The buyers are here. And it's climbing up and we're at the highs. And we've been in that weekly buy in this product now for weeks upon weeks. What is that? 3 weeks. 4 weeks, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9, 10. And so we've been in, and you can see it's been above the manifold. There's the manifold, the yellow line. And you can see that even the fast algorithm has been hanging around it, not breaking down at all. And whatever issues are going on over there, those issues are there to stay for a while. And in other words, it seems like Monsieur Dollar is going to be king still. King Dollar. King Jaffe Dollar. All right. And then from there, we dance our way over to... Where do we go from there? I don't think I have anything else to say about the yen. Anybody else have anything to say about the yen? We don't. Okay. Then what we will do is we will go to the Turkish lira. Now, with the world closed to a great extent, let's see what they're doing to the euro Turkish lira. And there it is right there. Ooh. well, it's hanging out in the. It's not at all-time highs of the 27s. Was the 27s all-time highs? 26s were the all-time highs. 26.9, something like that. So we're a handle underneath. It's still having its issues. The yellow is trading in the 84s, and the green is at 82.9, 82.7, bouncing around. So it's trying to tell us that they want to roll over a little bit, take some of those profits. But they probably say, like, as long as it's, they probably say, as long as it's in the weekly buy in docs, why would we think that this thing is not going to go to 31 to 33? And that's really the song that we're going to sing here. And that's unfortunate for the indigenous of Turkey. They basically take it on the chin from that. That's for sure. Sorry, traders over there. It's just what it is. It's the, this is, I'm starting to call this the little ruble. I keep on thinking, oh my God, this poor thing's going to go like the ruble did. Next thing you know, it's trading 40 of them to a euro and that type of thing. It's like, right now, I think the most we'll probably see over the next 3 to 6 months is a 31 to 33, something like that. But until we get into a weekly sell, I'm not going to stop singing that song. That's for sure. Alrighty. From there, we go over to the BRIC index, or we call it the M BRIC index, and that is, we show you the first two major BRICs, and that is the Mexican peso, number 1, and the South African rand, number 2. So we go to the peso. Let's see what the king peso of the BRICs does. And what's it say? What it is what it is. And there, look at that. Strong against the dollar. When this is going down, it's like the Swissy. It's strong against the dollar. The slow is trading at 12. The fast is trading at 18. So, yes, it looks like it's trying to bottom out and maybe some profit taking going on. So now what we do is we go over to Chicago Quant Technologies chart, and it is right there. And looky. You trade that, you win a cookie. Looky. Just kind of hanging out. And look at that. It's got a green dot. And let's widen this out more like that. There we are. It's got a green dot. And the green line is trying to turn up. But that weekly sell has been going on since the mid-18s. So no real panic there. But this is King Peso. And King Peso is the king of the BRICs. And so the way the King Peso goes is the way the BRICs go. All right. What else we got to say about that? Not much, really. That's the end of the story. So from there we go to the second biggest BRIC in the world, and that is the ZAR, the South African rand, the rand, USD, ZAR. And you can see there, it went into the weekly sell last week, and you can see it's still driving down. And let's see, that's Friday, that's today. You see both on the weekly or underneath, it's telling us that it's maybe they've straightened out the presidential situation there in South Africa. Maybe they, or give him a raise or something so he doesn't have to take money from every Tom, Dick, and Harry. Or every every Johan, we could use 3 South African names. Johan, and then we could say William, and we could say Nigel. How's that? Not every Johan, William, and Nigel you would have to take money from. Yeah, just let him do his presidential thing, Maybe they're straightening it out. That'd be good. Because when we look at this nice big slide, first of all, to get this off my chest, we really believe that it is undervalued at this point. We do believe that the South African rand is undervalued. So in other words, that pop all the way up to almost the 20 area was all politics, and it had nothing to do with economic fundamentals. And so then what we do is we go over to, let's do this over on the South African rand. We're going to put it up on J4X right there. And you can see that same game going on with lots of red heading south like so, so, and so. And it's filling in what we're doing. There you go. See that right there. And the slow is trading in the 4s. Can you imagine that? The 4s. And the fast is trading in the 2s and 3s. Is that 2s? Yeah, 269 versus, what is that? I can't even tell. 4.2. So, I mean, it's still pushing down. I mean, we are way down at the bottom of the range of this thing. But we really think that that's where it's going. Now, it's trying to catch up to gold. That's what it really is trying to do. Let's show you what before, when the politics started and wrecked the South African rand for a good 6 months. So we're going to put, where's gold? There is gold right there. And then what we're going to do is we're going to scrunch up the contract on Chicago Quant, and you're going to see the political turmoil that occurred. We put lines in there, right there. It was trading in the 17s. That was back in November and December, or the end of November, right? So then what we do is we go to J4X, and we go look at gold back in November of last year, right there. And there, that's March. Let's do this. Let's make it the whole screen. Maybe it'll straighten it out more. So there's that. I guess it's like right there. There's March. Is that right? No, November. I'm sorry. So there is February. There's January. There is December. There is November. Okay, so there it is. There it's trading in. Gold is trading at $1,730 basically. The low is actually $1,724. All right, and then this politics. Let's just do this, and then that's where it was trading in the 17. Is it even showing it? No, we got to move it over. So I guess it's right there. Yeah. So it's right in there. It's trading in the 1700 area. Okay, low 17s, mid 17s. You can see that right there on J4X. And then the politics kicks out right here. And when that politics kicks out, it took it up. And what did gold do? Gold was climbing at starting to build a base and take off coming from the 1600 area. And it runs to, what is that? That's like, 1950. So it gains like $200. And what does the South African rand do? It goes sideways down. Then they start to really get stuck in that political turmoil from the politics and the $500,000 cash found in the president's back pocket in his office. He walks around with $500,000 in his pocket, or he sticks it in the sofa. He does all kinds of weird things with cash. So then, here you can see the South African rand goes just totally bunkers and runs all the way up to 20. And what does gold do? Gold goes from the 1800 area in that same slip sliding away up to almost the 2100 area, right? Goes up $300, and South African rand loses money, which is very rare, okay? It doesn't normally do that. They follow each other perfectly, and that's why they are the second biggest brick in the M-brick index. Docs, I guess you could call it Docs M-brick index. And so then the two major bricks, one is riding the wave. Mexican peso, the King peso, doing fine. But then the South African rand, is just getting crushed. And gold is rallying. It's totally opposite of what it normally does for a couple of years now. So then you come here, you can see it finally tops out and it's driving down. And at the same time, gold is losing value. So it's like, whoa, wait a minute here. You're telling me now South African rand loses value when gold gains? And vice versa. So you see here, the last couple of weeks, you see gold has tried to pop, and this product is still heading down, doing the right thing now. It's acting the right way. But our math is so much better than following the story, but that's the story. It's the fact that the president of South Africa feels he needs to carry $500,000 in cash with him all the time. That's like a go bag. I hope he has a couple different passports and some change of clothes and a couple of burn phones, because it sounds like something like that to me. Next thing you know, he wants to be king of Zimbabwe or something. So that's what that's all about, and that's has had us definitely frustrated because this was a fantastic. For years, we would be able to see the weakness in the dollar against the South African rand, and it was always a great buying opportunity. And gold would go roaring up, and it was just fantastic. And then the Presidente messed everything up. That's just the way it goes. All right, now from the South African rand, the two top BRIC currencies, we go and we figure in Doc's BRIC index that these two currencies are over 70% of the BRIC. That's what we figure. Just these two currencies control 70% of the BRIC. Yep, 70%. And then the third one, if you're all wondering what the third one is, and that is the Indian rupee. That's number 3. And that we're figuring that the Indian rupee could be as much as 8 to 10% of the BRIC. So just the 3 of them is 80% of the BRIC. Boy, they should really, I wonder if Turkish lira is going to jump into the BRIC. That would be entertaining. They would really battle it out with there's no doubt. Brazil is almost impossible to be in the BRIC. But, you might as well just put soybeans into the BRIC because the Brazilian real, you can't even get quotes on it. Ducascapi doesn't even give you quotes on it. It's that bad. And the other two, the Chinese yuan is almost as bad. It's just a fixed unit. And the only other one it trades, I could see the big ruble. I could see the currency that will not be named because of what it does nowadays. But I could see that being 4% of the index, maybe even 6% of the index if they stop the war. If they stop the war, it could go to 8% of the index. It could be a decent player inside the BRIC. It won't be a major, but it will be in there just the same way that the kroner and the Swiss franc are in the dollar index, and that's where I see the ruble being about the same index wise. All right, from there where do we go from there? We finish it off, and as I said, you can see gold unfortunately is not doing as well as it used to. So what we do is we look at the next one, and that is the last of the currencies we look at normally here. Unless someone wants to see something, just shout it out. We'll just put it up on the screen. The next one we put up there is the Canadian dollar against the American dollar. And that's our oil kind of index, oil tip or lead or downstream. Usually when the Canadian is doing well, usually oil is doing well. And when the Canadian is doing bad, then the oil is doing bad. That's usually the way it goes. Now, when we go over here, you can see the Canadian has been roaring along. They've raised rates there last week again. This may be more dealing with the inflation and the interest rates. And the South African rand may be the same thing more than anything else. And maybe they haven't figured out the political problems because it doesn't seem to be matching up to gold still. Now let's go take a look at the gold, in this case here, the oil contract. And there we are, see, that's the dollar index. You can see it's climbing. It's dollar's firm today. That's because no one's here. No one in the States is really trading. So let's put up the oil contract. And there's August oil. August oil is trading today. It's up a little bit. It's a little firm. It's been daily buy for the 3 days. And we are in the weekly buy for a full week now. Closed last week in the buy. And it's in there now. So we are flirting on the upside. And then when we go back and look at some of the back months on that thing, we'll do it all together at this point since we're right here. And as you can see right there, and then we'll jump over to the metals again and check out silver and so forth. But you see there, back month is trading at 71.57. Front month is trading at 71.83. So now they've discounted it again. There's the contango. That's what that is, the contango. So, what else we got going on there? That's the action in the energies. And so what we'll do is we'll come back and we'll look at, we'll take a look at natural gas right now. There's nat gas. It's been in a daily buy for a whole, this is now a 5th day. And just as we get into the weekly buy, it's like they're knocking it back down again into the sell. And it's only up to $2.60 a cubic whatever. And then from there, we go over and just for fun, let's just go check it out right here. Let's see what nat gas looks like over on the screen here. See if it's trying to do its roll over right there. And you can see the hinkies have been running in the green, very firm. You can see the yellow is at 86. And the green, the fast stochastic, is at 92, showing you that strength. And the same strength we're seeing there. But again, no one's around today. Now, I'm a little surprised that they're pushing it into the sell already. But they are. And look at it. The green line, unfortunately, traders, is almost piercing. Let's see. The green line is at minus 0.0328. And the yellow is at minus 0.355. So it's almost busting the manifold. So we'll see what they do tomorrow on that. Now, over here, let's go to Spain and check out the energy company down there, the energy producer, and see what they're doing. It's been trading in the 26s. Let's hope it's still in the 26s, not 27s. And there it is. Almost touching it. It's 26.95's offer, 88 bids. Watch them trade. And so this thing is trying to lift up again, and we're sad about that. We are sad about that. And you can see here the yellow is at 74 and the green is at 77. So they are unfortunately putting pressure on the upside. Upsy daisy. It's the upsy daisy side of it all. So, and then let's take a look at Brent this morning, and then we'll be gone on the energy side of this webinar. But if anybody wants to see anything particular, just shout it out and we will go chase it. Chase it like a bunny in a grass. Hippity hop. And there it is right there. The yellow is trading at 69 in the divine region. And the green is at 87. So they're doing that too. They're buying. You can see 4 hinky askies right there going north. And then just like we are in the, let's put the West Texas Intermediate up there again on Chicago Quant. And see how they are analogous to each other, or how they're working together. And you can see there 3 days in a buy, and this is a 4th week in a buy in the back month. Let's see what it looks like here on a weekly on the Brent. There's the Brent, and it's just going into the weekly buy right now. You can see the yellow is at the 60. What is that? That's 57. I think it's 57. And the green is at 61. So we are seeing that strength there too on the weekly signal. The weekly signal. Yes, indeed. So from there, we go over to the metals complex now, and we'll see what that looks like. And, I don't think, let's see. Let's put up gold. And there is gold. And we have, is that right? Yeah, they have gold down for the day here in the States. So we closed on Friday in a buy. And we're still in a buy, but they're just down for the day, trading in the 1963 area. The weekly is making a curve, and it's trying to get going. Let's do this. Let's remove that. Go like that. And go like that. There we are. And it's in the buy. Buy. So we see, money kind of drifting towards, we're drifting towards strength, I guess you could say. We're drifting towards strength. And, we hope that they do something about it, Let's go take a look at silver. There's silver. July silver trying to pierce. It's been in a buy for 2 days. Friday, or that's at Thursday and Friday. And now it's showing a little pressure on the sell side. And again, the States is closed. So 60, 65, 70% of the world is, the traders are gone. They're doing their 3-day holiday, like me. Happy, happy, happy. And so there's the pressure right there. Now, at least it closed in a weekly buy. That's cool. Maybe it'll give us a chance, go down a little bit into a sell, and turn back up, and we'll get a little run again. We really would love to see the silver back in the 26 area. It's funny how it drifts in and out of that area. It does not let it go. All right, and then from there, let's go over to silver in J4X, and there's the silver right there. And you're going to see, what are we going to see? Hinky Ashke's trying to turn green. Green, green, green. It should be green. Let's see where the lines are. Oh, that's on a weekly. Let's do this first. Let's do the daily. There's the daily. Green, green, green. Yeah, see when it closed in the daily buy yesterday. It's trying to stay in there today. It's turning up. The green is trading in the 63 area. And the yellow is trading in the 62. Is that 52? Or 62? I think that's... Yeah, I think that's 50. Yeah, 52. 51.94. So they're trying to lift the silver. They're really pushing on it. And that's why we closed in that weekly buy last week. It's trying to tell us, and you can see our fast closed 2 weeks ago in a buy. So they do want to own it. They just don't want to pay for it. Ow! Ow! Now from there, we slide over to copper. Let's put it up on J4X. See how the copper is looking. Right there, copper. And as you can see on Chicago Quant, it's on the first. Is it in the first week? Yeah. So it's on the first week of a slow buy. It's been in a fast buy since the 370 area right there on a weekly basis. And we were in a daily buy there for a while too, and it was rocked, and then went into the sell for this little slide, and then back in the saddle again. Actually, you can move that over. It was a down day, no less. I love that. And it gave us a buy, and we were in a weekly buy, and it was taking off, and it's like, yay! Whoop-dee-doo. And you can see there, just pushing and pushing. Now today, it's unchanged. They're doing some slow trading from Friday's mild day down, nothing major. And over here on J4X, you see that same thing. You see the yellow is trading in the 64.7 area. Oh, no, that's 84. I'm sorry, 84.7. It's topping out a little bit because we see the green is trading in the 82, 83 area. So, just a little pressure there. And we've taken, it's not really going far. We've gone from the 70s to the 90s. It's not like it's running from $3 to $4. It's in pennies at this point it's moving. And that's pretty much the game of it all. And then last but not least, let's take a look at platinum. It's usually a leader to the metals complex, not price-wise, but direction. And so there is platinum, July platinum, like the 4th. It's the 4th. And you can see here, it's holding on by the threads, 3 days in a buy and going in the wrong deck or sideways direction. But on that weekly, since almost the $1,100 area, it has traded now down to the what's the low there? 971. So it's dropped 100 and some odd dollars. And sure enough, the metals complex, when we look at it over the same 6 weeks, we'll go back to it real quick. And there is silver. Over the last 6 weeks, it has only found a way to go down, not up. It's fallen from the high 25s down to the high 22s. So like a $3 sell-off. Same thing with gold. Gold over the last 6 weeks was in the 2000 area, and now we find that it's making lows in the 1850-ish area. So, that pressure has been on the products. Alrighty. So from there, we're going to slide back over to, what are we going to do? We're going to slide over to the currencies, if Benny comes and looks at the replay, he'll be able to see that right there. And there it is right there. You can see the product has been in a daily buy for a couple days, but we're in a weekly sell, so it's still a neutral situation. Right there, it went into the buy on Thursday of last week. Let's put that in there. So you don't really want to take the when on that. You want it to. It's the when is the sell, not the buy, right there. So right now we're sitting in Nothingville, Nothing Burger. What should we call today's webinar? That's the good question. Since we're talking about markets. Let's see, markets are kind of closed. So markets trade soft. On holiday. And I guess that's the best way to look at it. Markets trade soft on holiday. So traders, there's that. That's the British pound against the Aussie. And it's in a weekly sell for a couple of weeks now, starting its third week, and you can see it's, you know, the last sell was ouch, wrong. So, and then the buy just told you just don't be, you know, actually the buy was lower than the sell. Was it? No, it was not. So it's a loss. And so we'll wait and see what the next thing is. What kind is the next signal to come out of that product? And let me see. I'm going to throw another one up there. What's that? What's that other one Benny looks at? I think it's this one, GBPJPY, right there. That one is like a dog with a bone. It ain't letting go. It is like, oh, it won't let go. So there we are. There's the strength. And that's how we end it. So this is Doc. Tomorrow, the world's open again. So this is how we end the webinar today, and that is we will catch you all tomorrow, same time, same channel. So happy trails to you until we meet again. Happy trails to you, all our trading friends. Later, traders. Everybody have a safe and smart trading day. But be careful. Remember, it's thin. It's soft. You know, the world is closed for the holiday. So, ta-ta for now.